Hello, it's Sargon the Great, and today we will be talking about the Old Kingdom of ancient Egypt. The Old Kingdom, sometimes known by the title Age of the Pyramids, was among the first known instances of a large and developed state. It was a largely agricultural society based around the distribution of food and religious customs. The principles and convictions of the Old Kingdom Egypt included its religious system. The Egyptians were convinced that the pharaoh represented a god in human form, the holy link between the world of men and that of deity. Moreover, the afterlife held a central position within the Egyptian beliefs. Day-to-day life was suffused with preparation for dead and the life that came after. The building of tombs, of pyramids, and of carrying out funeral rituals marked not only wealth and power, but the cultural assumption of being able to attain eternal life by the practicing of proper. The cultural construct of beliefs is here exemplified with communal religious doctrine impacting all levels of society. Symbols in the art were ubiquitous to Old Kingdom life. The Ankh stood for life, and the scarab beetle represented rebirth. The pyramids themselves were not only graves, but indicators of cosmic order and royal authority. The art of Egypt was extremely formalized with rigid rules. The pharaohs were drawn bigger than others to represent their significance, and the gods were frequently depicted with animal heads. And the gods actually changed according to who was ruling. Like a lot of Ramses II, for example, had all of the gods made during his reign have his face. So, very art and symbolic oriented. The standards, social customs, and tangible culture. The attire was basic but significant. Simple linen clothes for both men and women, with the quality of clothes reflecting their social standing, as is prone to most society. Performance of musical instruments, dance, banquets, and board games were forms of entertainment. The material culture was extremely developed by its standards. Masonry with stones, copper utensils, and papyrus scrolls made the Egyptians construct some of the longest-lasting monuments of human history. Values were placed on deferring to authority, religiosity before the gods, and loyalty to the king. The people of ancient Egypt were bound together cohesively by the written word of the hieroglyphs, primarily employed by scribes or religious officials. While not everybody could read hieroglyphs, they were one of the centers of Egyptian society. Common Egyptians communicated by an offshoot of the ancient Egyptian language, and literacy was not common among the lower ranks of life. The diet was actually very basic. Bread, beer, onions, fish, and dates were the foundation, and meat and wine were luxuries that were allotted to only the elite ranks. Economy and technology in the Old Kingdom relied heavily on agriculture, with the Nile River offering fertile soil to grow wheat, barley, and flax. There was a redistributive economy too. Farmers paid their taxes in grains, which the state hoarded and spent on massive projects such as the building of the pyramids. The labor was well organized and centralized, but not necessarily slave-based, and sometimes supposed many workers were part of conscripted peasants working as a tax. In terms of technology, the Egyptians possessed many stone implements, copper chisels, and superior engineering methods that would not be seen again for hundreds of years.